What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD coming at a quick review of Chained Echoes. Now, Chained Echoes was developed by the one-man team of Matthias Linda. It's published by Deck 13. It runs $25 on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, Steam. You know, everywhere and anywhere that you can get games, you're going to be able to pick up Chained Echoes. Now, luckily myself, I didn't pay $25. I get a free review copy of it, so please bear that in mind. Now we're going to start off with the music in Chained Echoes. The music is so beautiful. It sets the mood. It is not repetitive. It doesn't hurt the ears. It is the exact kind of music you're going to want to hear when you're playing a 30 to 60 hour game. That's right. Whether it's the battle music, the field music, the town music, it's all perfect. It sets the mood. It flows in your ears just nice. You're not going to get tired of it. You're going to actually enjoy listening to the music in this game. Sound effects, they're equally as good. You know, when you get the hits on enemies, you're going to get nice little sounds when you're doing your moves. The cursor sounds are a little loud, I will admit, but nothing too egregious, right? As for the visuals, now the visuals is where the game really shines because this looks like every 16-bit RPG that your nostalgia says it's supposed to look like, right? When you remember playing Final Fantasy on your SNES, this is what you think of. This is how you think the game looks. Now, if you go back and look at it, you're going to go, wow, these games didn't look that good. But in your mind, they looked that good. And that's what this game captures, right? It doesn't try to emulate what the actual SNES 16-bit era games look like, but what we think they look like, right? What our memories and our nostalgia tells us they look like. And this game is gorgeous. The parallax scrolling on it, top notch. The sprite work, great, very detailed. I can't say enough about how good this game looks. Now, with all that said, this game is obviously inspired by your 16-bit era games, you know, your Xenogears, your Final Fantasy 6s, your Chrono Triggers. You can see it when you play it. You can see it when you just watch other people play it or watch reviews of it. This game was heavily inspired by all those games. Matthias Linda played those games as a kid. He tried to make his own RPG Maker games based on those games. And now he's making Chained Echoes. And this game, it takes the genre to the next level, right? It doesn't let itself be chained to the past. It doesn't let itself be forced to work on the limitations of old hardware. No, instead it says, this is what the old hardware could do, and I'm going to go do it a little bit better while keeping the flavor, the feel of that 16-bit era. What do I mean by that? Well, first off, you're going to be able to fast travel almost out of the gate. As soon as you hit that first field, as soon as you hit that first town location, you're going to be able to fast travel between them. No problem. Save points, we ain't got to worry about it because you can save anywhere at any time in this game. I mean, not any time. We're gonna preface that because people will be like, hey, you can't save during dialogue. Obviously, you can't save when they're talking, but you'll be able to save, whenever you're able to open the options menu. Additionally, you're going to be able to retry battles after you die. That's right. If you die in battle, you don't got to worry about going back to your last save point. You don't got to worry about having to repeat 10, 15 hours of gameplay. You're going to be able to retry the battle immediately. But not just that, not just retry the battle. No. The first thing it's going to do is kick you back to the menu. So maybe you want to upgrade your skills. Maybe you want to change around the formation of your party. Maybe you want to try to switch out some of the skills you have. Switch in some other skills. Maybe you didn't realize that you needed a fire skill, so you switch that in, and now you play that battle the second time, and you're good to go. You're able to beat it, overcome the challenge. And this game is going to be a challenge because the leveling up system in this game is not your typical, right? The leveling up is basically the story is going to dictate when you're going to be able to level up because you're going to get these little grimoires, and these grimoire pieces are going to allow you to level up your character, unlock new skills, unlock new passives, unlock new upgrades, and this is how you level up. But like I said, you only get them at certain points in the story. So what you're going to really rely on is your armor, your weapons, your equipment, your skills. You're going to have to worry about leveling up these things getting the best armor, finding the best weapons, making sure that your skills are up to par, because the game is challenging. There are battles just on the normal screen, on the normal field, that are going to be kind of challenging. There's battles that you think, this is going to be real easy, right? It's a little simple battle to win a medal, and then you're going to get slaughtered because things can be challenging. Now, with that challenge comes some fair play, some things that are going to allow you to overcome it, because there's an overdrive system. There's a bar at the top of the screen. That bar starts in yellow. That means you're in neutral. And then you're going to shift that bar into green as you do different things. As you attack enemies, use skills. And when you're in the green, that means you're going to do double damage. You're going to take less damage. But if you keep going, if you keep pushing too hard, you're going to end up in the red. That means you take double damage and you do less damage. Now, there is ways to make sure you stay in the green, right? You're going to be able to do different attacks. You're going to have attacks that lower the bar, raise the bar. You're going to have ultra attacks. When you get enough energy built up, you can do an ultra attack that does huge damage or other things to the enemy, but also lowers the bar back down. So it is a balancing act to make sure that that bar stays in the green, doesn't get in the red. Eventually, you will get sky armor, little flying mech suits, and it's going to change up battle just a little bit. It's going to switch it up. And that overdrive system is going to be more or less a gear. Put that baby in third gear, pop that baby back into first. It's going to keep you going and make sure that you're doing less damage, more damage. And it's going to be trying to get you to not overheat the mech while doing battle. Now, speaking of battle, there is no random battles in the game. That's right. All the enemies are on screen. You could avoid them. You could attack them. You could choose which ones you want to fight, which ones you don't. Now, you're probably going to want to fight all of them because they are limited, and you're going to be looking to get some of that SP that's going to help you improve your skills. Now, on the field, there's also going to be little glowing balls, and these balls are basically little items that you would find, little craftable items. Instead of having to go to a flower and pick the flower, it's going to just be a little ball, and you're going to run up to it and be like, oh, you just gathered a flower. Right? It makes it real streamlined. It makes the game run a lot faster, so you got to worry about things. There are lots of secrets in the game, and if you try to get all of them, all the side characters, all the extra characters, build up your little island base, because you are going to get an island base eventually. You build that up. It's going to take you about 60 hours to get it all done, and it is worth every second of playtime because this game is fantastic. And if you think the game's a little too hard, the game's just a little bit too hard for your skill level, well, there is some accessibility options. You're going to be able to change the enemy stats, make them higher, make them lower. You're going to be able to change the aggressiveness of the enemies, make them a little less aggressive, make them a little more aggressive. Maybe you think the challenge is not hard enough for you. And of course, the overdrive area size is also going to be able to be changed. You're going to be able to make it tighter. You're going to be able to make it wider. So, there are options to make the game a little bit more difficult, a little bit more easy. Overall, I would say this is a definite buy. If I didn't get a review copy of this game, I would have definitely bought it just from the look alone, even not playing a single second of it, even not looking at anyone else played or anyone else's reviews, just looking at the screenshots for the game, looking at the trailer for the game. I was excited. I loved it. I thought it looked fantastic. And once I got my hands on it, oh my God, it lived up to all the hype. It lived up to everything that I thought it was going to be and more. This game is fantastic. The only con I would say in this game is Matthias Linda. He's a German. He doesn't speak English as a first language, so there is some awkward dialogue in the game. But if you can look past that, this game is fantastic, and hopefully there will be a sequel, because there are some threads, a little bit of story threads hanging at the end of this game. So I'm looking forward to a sequel. Have you played it? Let me know in the comments if you've played it, if you've enjoyed it, if you plan on playing it. Until next time, love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.